What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I'm starting a new series where I'm going to be talking all about shoulders and giving you exercises for every single different part. But today I'm going to be showing you 5 different shoulder exercises to get wider shoulders. Alright, so I'm going to get into these 5 exercises now. So this is going to be great for anybody trying to target that outer head of your delt. So this is not going to be anybody trying to get that nice front cut for your anterior delt, and not trying to get that rear delt. That's for later videos and in that playlist. So these exercises are obviously all going to be exercises that are going to incorporate lifting our arms out to the side, because by lifting your arms out to the side, you are allowing yourself to target that deltoid perfectly. So a couple of these exercises you may have seen before, and a couple of them may be new to you, but I'm going to walk you through the form so that you know you're doing it right and getting the most out of it. So first up is going to be the most basic of exercises, which is going to be a dumbbell lateral raise. So we've all seen them before, but I think the biggest issue with guys in the gym is that they get the dumbbells, and first off, they're a lot heavier than this because they think that the heavier they go on this isolation exercise, the better, which truth is, when it's a single joint exercise, you really should be careful with how much weight you're using so that you have good form. So with these, typically I wouldn't go any heavier than maybe 20 pounds because these are gonna be a strict lateral raise. And so a lot of times you see guys going like this, and it may not look like much, but there's a bend, there's a bounce going in my knee, and this is a lot of momentum being created. Also, another issue is that when I'm doing this and I'm not really focusing on much, I'm kind of lifting this weight upwards more than I am actually pushing it outwards. And so one thing that I really want you to focus on, 2 things that I really want you to focus on, is planting your feet and maybe getting like a soft bend in your knee, and then keeping that soft bend in your knee and never doing any kind of bouncing. So staying in place just like that, and then from there I want you to drive your shoulders down, and then also I want you to roll them back, get a little lean forward, and then from there you're going to focus on your elbows coming straight out to the side. You're not focusing on where you're actually lifting this weight, you're focusing on your elbows going straight out to the side. And another thing is I like to act as if I'm trying to get my arms under something. So if I'm trying to lift it up, you're going to get a lot of trap engagement, whereas if I'm pressing them down and I'm lifting outward, that's when I'm going to get the most deltoid activation. So just like that. Pushing the weight out, and no bounce in the knee. It's strict form, pressing it out. And also you notice that I'm not going way up here. Once you get past about shoulder level, that's when you're going to start engaging your trap more. So if you're trying to hit purely deltoid as much as possible, you want to just go about just under shoulder level and back down. Pressing it out, shoulder level, back down. Just like that. So that's exercise number 1. All right, so the second exercise is going to be a spin-off of the lateral raises. With the lateral raises, you're pretty much just trying to stay as strict as possible, and you're raising them out almost straight out to the side. Now, with these are going to be I just call them 45-degree raises, because basically instead of your arms coming out straight to the side, you're going to bring them to a 45-degree angle forward, and you're also going to have a little bit more of a bend in your elbow so that you can really focus on driving your elbows up. So the same thing, it's going to be, the same thing with lateral raises. With the lateral raises, you really want to focus on getting your elbows pretty much higher than your hands. I guess that's a tip for that as well, but you're going to emphasize that even more with this exercise. So this one you're actually going to probably pick up a little bit heavier of dumbbells, simply because you are going to be raising it up to the front more, and you're going to be having a little bit more bend in your elbows. So here you're going to do the same thing. You're going to roll your shoulders back, press them down, but then instead of going straight out to the side, you're going to be driving those elbows forward. And again, you're not leading with this weight, you're actually leading with those elbows so that you can really focus on using your shoulders to get that weight up. So it's going to look just like that. So really focusing on using your delts as much as possible to get this weight up, driving up with your shoulders, and then controlling it on the way back down. And also another thing is I'm not going way up here. So the weight might come up to about shoulder level, but my elbow is never going above shoulder level. So that's going to allow you to keep it as much of an isolation exercise as possible. So rolling your shoulders back, pressing them down, taking your elbows, going forward at a 45-degree angle and back down. 45-degree angle, back down. Just like so. And again, no bend or no bounce in the knee. Just driving up your elbows, trying to keep your shoulders pressed down, and go out to a 45-degree angle and back down. So that's going to be exercise number 2. And exercise number 3 is going to be another lateral raise, but here we're going to be switching it up from free weights and we're going to be going with cable, and we're going to be emphasizing a lean. So this is going to be the leaning cable lateral raises. Real creative, I know. So I'm going to get a handle basically on this cable pulley and put it down to the bottom. So from here what I'm going to do is actually step in front of it so that it is behind my body and turn to the side. And from there I'm going to take my opposite arm, grab it behind my back, and then from here, and the reason I like putting it behind my back is because when I do it out to the front like this, a lot of times you could try to cheat it up and be going back behind your body, which you could just mess up your form completely. I just find it a lot easier to actually target the right part of my deltoid when I have it behind my body so that I can pull it forward at an angle. So behind my body, and then from there I'm going to grab this pole and I'm going to lean out to the side. So just like that, not a huge lean, just a slight lean, so that as soon as you start pulling down, you got tension, just like that. So from there, you're going to take this weight, you're going to press your shoulder down again, and then from there, you're going to take your elbows and lift it out, and you want your arms to go about to parallel to the ground, maybe a little under that, just basically until you no longer feel it only in this part of your shoulder and you start to feel it in your traps. Again, you do not want to be going way up in here where now I'm feeling it up here. You want to be really trying to target this part of your shoulder only. So down, you're going to press your shoulder down, roll it back, and take your elbow slightly out in front of your body and back down. And you're trying to act like your arm is going under something. So you're trying to not to lift it up like that where you're going to be engaging a lot of trap. Keep it in that deltoid as much as possible. Try to go like you're going under a fence or something and back down. Under a fence and back down. And you're trying to keep tension on it the whole time. So at the bottom here, you're not creating any momentum with your body and doing that. That's what happens when you get too heavy. Instead, strict form at the bottom, starting nice, controlled up, back down. Controlled up, back down. So that's exercise number 3. And moving on into the 4th exercise, you might notice that I'm in a little bit of a weird position, sitting sideways on this inclined bench, but that's exactly what your starting position is going to be. It's going to be another lateral raise, and you're going to be using a lighter dumbbell because this is going to be a very strict raise with your delt. So there's not going to be any chance for momentum here, which I really like about this exercise. So from here, you're going to grab this weight, you're going to sit completely sideways in the bench, and then you're going to lay to the side. So from here, this is going to be my starting position. I'm going to take my arm right here, I'm going to put it down straight to the side, and I'm also going to bring my palm in so it's kind of like a neutral grip right there. Then from there, what I'm going to do is really focus on driving this weight down and up as I lift it up. And then one thing that you want to make sure you don't do is lift it up so that your arm is perpendicular to the ground, because here I'm just resting. There's no more tension on my shoulder, whereas here, when I'm at basically a 90-degree angle to my body, there's tension on my shoulder and a hell of a lot of tension on my shoulder. So that's going to be the range of motion. You're going to bring it down, and you don't ever want to rest at the bottom. You're going to bring it up, pressing down. Again, you don't want to be just raising up like this and get this nasty little bend in your elbow. You want to keep that as straight as possible, and you want to really try to drive your shoulder down as you lift this up. Get that 90-degree angle from your arm to your body and back down. So it's going to look just like this. Nice controlled movements here. Never creating momentum. It's actually very hard to create momentum here, but also never losing tension. So at the top, you could lose tension real easy. At the bottom, you could lose tension real easy. Don't do that. Stop right there. Keep the tension up. Keep the tension down, up. Now I got a really nice burn in my shoulder, but that is exercise number 4. Which brings us to the 5th and final exercise, which is going to be an easy bar upright row. Now, I made this the last one simply because this causes people shoulder pain every now and then if you do have, say, a shoulder impingement or something of that nature. So if you do have shoulder injuries and this exercise does hurt and you're not cleared to do this exercise from your doctor, don't do it. Skip this exercise. But if you do have healthy shoulders and you do personally, I like how this really targets my delts just amazingly. So I really like doing this exercise, but I make sure never to go too heavy so that I avoid causing that injury. But upright rows, amazing at targeting the deltoid. Personally, I like using the outer grip on it just because the inner grip, I don't feel it as much. With the outer grip, I find it easier to bring it out more with my elbows. So like I just mentioned, you want to bring it up with your elbows. One thing that you don't want to do is be lifting it up with your hands more than anything. You really want to focus on getting your shoulders back and then taking your elbows and kind of flaring them forward and lifting up through your elbows. And just by doing that, you're going to feel a really nice contraction in your deltoid. And like I said, you want to keep this as controlled as possible. You don't want to overload this too much. This is supposed to be more of an isolation exercise right here. Really targeting those delts nicely. Bring it up. And again, you're not bringing it up here. You're bringing it up to about shoulder level and back down. Shoulder level, back down. Nice controlled motion, not bouncing it. None of this shit. Keep that controlled. Up and back down. Up and back down. And that is the fifth and final exercise to help you get wider shoulders, target that outer head of your deltoid. Like I said, I'm gonna be having videos in the future. If you're watching this right when I'm dropping it, my notification squad, I got videos coming on rear delts, front delts, traps, and just a full shoulder workout to bring it all together. If you are watching this in the future from whenever I'm making this video and all these videos are posted, there's a card right up here that's gonna take you to that playlist. Also, it's linked down in the description below, so you can go sub to that playlist so that you have access to all the best shoulder exercises for whatever part of your shoulder that you're trying to target. Also, if you're trying to target more than your shoulders and you're trying to build muscle everywhere, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to burn body fat and get ripped, whatever it is, I have a free body type quiz that helps you figure out your body type, tells you how many macros you need every single day to get in shape and achieve your goal, and tells you the 3 most important things to do to get in shape fast, all for free. If you want to check that out, that's linked down in the description below this video. So go hit that, take the quiz. Let me help you get in shape. Let's do this together. Other than that, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure that you are joining the V-Shred movement on YouTube and smashing that subscribe button, and also make sure you're hitting the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you actually get notified when I post a new video. So other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.